BBC Radio 5 Live.
Tony Livesey.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Tony Livesey.
On BBC Radio 5 Live.
Well, good morning, everybody. Tuesday is tipping over. It just has done. It's tipped over into Wednesday, the 29th of October, the day back in 1996 that Ian Brown declared, having spent the last 10... I can't impersonate.
No, just do it in your
Having
voice.
spent the last 10 years in the filthiest business in the universe, it's a pleasure to announce the end of the Stone Roses. Enya started a 3-week run at number one on the UK charts with Orinoco Flow in 1988. And the Belgian Travel Service served a summons against the Sex Pistols, claiming the sleeve to the single Holidays in the Sun infringed copyright of one of its brochures. How the heck did that come out? We will never know.
Never.
Back in 2000, on this date, the Spice Girls were posting their 9th UK number one with this. That was the point where they could have sung anything and got to number one, wasn't it?
I don't think I've heard that before.
No.
I mean, I must have done, but, you know.
It's one of their less memorable hits, but it was a number one, nonetheless. More pertinent to tonight is what was happening right now back in 1984. Dead or Alive had just finished recording and were about to drop this. Oh yes, that's Dead or Alive with their number one hit, You Spin Me Round, brackets, like a record. Brackets, I've just thought of a great mixtape. Brackets.
It'll have been done before.
Will it?
Yeah.
Will it?
Well, if it hasn't, then let's do it.
Anyway, no.
Anyway,
this week it's things you can buy at B&Q. Another item altogether,
yeah.
but brackets. I'm going to hold that in my head, brackets.
Yeah.
Anyway, it links in a very literal sense with our theme tonight, because actually, a text dropped in just a few moments ago from Martin, songs about revolutions. It's got to be Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Round, brackets, like a record, close brackets.
I wasn't going to read that one because I didn't understand the link between that and
No,
revolution,
I don't. But there must be. Yeah. Well, maybe the man to tell us what that link is here. It's time to summon the doctor. Yes, we call him Dr. Beats. He's better known to his students as Professor Joe Bennett from the Berklee College of Music in Boston. He's the man people turn to when they want to know about similarities between songs, and he comes on here every week with a different musical theme for us to investigate. It's musical archaeology at his best. We'll have his quiz in just a moment, and there's a Soundslike at the end as well, where he pits two songs head-to-head suggested by listeners, and we look at the similarities there. But, well, hello, Joe. First of all, hello.
Hi,
hello
Joe.
there, Tony and Lisa. Good to see and hear you.
Yes, Lisa. Well, I'm very excited. Lisa's very, very excited because she so enjoyed it so much last week. Before we go any further, Joe, Dead or Alive, then, Martin threw that into the mix on the text console. How does that connect to our theme tonight?
So this wasn't me. This is your production team doing the equivalent of a dad joke in terms of playlisting. So it's You Spin Me Right Round, Baby, right round like a record. Round, round like a revolution. And our theme tonight is Songs of Revolution.
Behaviour.
So from behind the glass, they are gently, as the Americans would say, yanking your chain.
They do that every night, though. It's getting to be a bit ridiculous. Carl in Liverpool actually spotted it. It's just dropped in. Revolutions, as in 45 revolutions a minute, as in spinning round like a record, baby. Carl got it. We didn't.
We didn't get it.
Cheers, Joe, for that. Now, so you're going to take us on a journey through songs connected to revolution, aren't you? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's our theme tonight. So we are looking at revolution in all its forms. You know, the idea of using songwriting as a call to action, political action, social action of some sort. And society has been using songwriting for this for many, many hundreds of years. And we're going to go back and look at some sort of ancient prehistory as well as some right up to the minute examples too.
Great, and I'm looking forward to seeing which tracks you've chosen. Lots of listeners already sending in tracks they would have chosen. Joe, we'll throw some into the mix a little bit later on, but let's get underway with the quiz. But people, a lot of people try and get it right every week. Some get all of them right. Yeah. So explain what you're about to do, Joe.
Okay, so these are all famous songs of revolution, political songs from history. The earliest one is from the 19th century, and the most recent one is from 2015. And they're all pretty well known if you know your sort of political songwriting. But I make no apology, really, because there's been a lot of people getting 6 out of 6 or 5 out of 5 in recent weeks, and it's quite a bit harder tonight. So it's going to really test our regular aces to see if they can nail these.
Hey, we could have Neil Poir later on. There could be nobody gets this.
Do you know, I've considered not even taking part because I don't think I'll get any right, but I'm going to give it a go. So.
Okay. All right. Well, look,
I think there's a couple. I think there's a couple
okay.
Everyone's going to get here.
Right.
So there are 6 questions. I'm going to give you the year and maybe a little bit about the geographical origin of the revolutionary artist. I'm playing them all backwards. And perhaps the toughest one is number 1. This is a 19th century revolutionary song sung in Italian and published in 1953. All I'm looking for here is the title. And here it is, the backwards audio, question number 1.
It sounds like a Russian drinking song.
It's that bass line, root fifth, dum, 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 dum. It sounds the same forwards.
I'm gonna have
so,
guess.
For our number 2, this is from 1968. Okay. And this is a song from an artist who came from North Carolina, USA, 1968. For number 3, this is an artist, I think a lot of people are going to get this one. This is an artist from the colony of Jamaica, and this track came out in 1973. For number 4, this is an artist from New York, USA, from 1990. From 1996, this is a band from the west coast of America and a very revolutionary song. If you know your guitar players, that wah-wah pedal's a bit of a giveaway. And from 2015, this is an artist who is literally straight out of Compton, which is in California, USA, from 2015, number 6.
I'm going to have a guess at that, just being some constant reference.
I mean, 2 things. A, I've got none. Lisa has written something down for all 6. I can't quite read them from here.
A couple of them say not sure, so it'll be fun.
You've written not sure. You have written not sure.
Yeah.
And, well, the challenge is there, everybody listening at home. Is anybody going to get, how many were there? 6 out of 6?
6 in total.
That's a tough one. But he's ratcheted it up because people have been getting them over the last few weeks. All right, so we'll remind everyone of those questions before we give the answers later in the hour. But we're going to get to the meat of the matter, Joe. Now let's get straight to it. Songs about revolution. We're going to start with one of the greatest songs from one of the greatest singers of all time, going back to 1964. A Change Is Gonna Come, and Sam Cooke.
Like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
Well, there we are, Sam Cooke. Extraordinary song, extraordinary voice. Tell us the story behind it, Joe.
Oh, well, you know, it's a funny thing. I teach a class at Berkeley called A History of Rock, and we look at the rock years 1955 to 95 approximately. And we have to cover Sam Cooke because it's sort of pre-Beatles pop. And every time I play them some Sam Cooke, I'm tempted to cancel the whole of the rest of the class and just listen to Sam Cooke with the class because it's such an amazing voice. You can just lose yourself in it. Extraordinary.
Yeah.
So that was the civil rights anthem as it became and was intended to be from 1964. It appeared on his album Ain't That Good News in mid-February 1964. And it's one of those sort of generic songs of revolution. It's a call to action, and it's specifically written for the American civil rights movement. And of course, that was a huge political issue of the day. And sadly, it was published posthumously because Sam Cooke, as a lot of people will know, lost his life in a gunshot incident in a hotel room in his very early 30s. So it was released. He was fatally shot in December 1964, and it was released just two weeks after that posthumously. But it's an incredibly important song, you know. And I've lived in the US 10 years now, and you know, I can't really fully ever pretend to fully understand the culture, but that song is so huge for the African American community and for America generally. It's such a socially significant song.
Yeah, and well, I was going to say, Joe, talk to us a little bit about what's really interesting me about this is that he and this has been the case with artists through the years. Was he not advised against this by his management, who was saying, look, you're going to alienate your white audience.
Well, right, yeah, it is overtly political, and I think it's partly because he was such, he made such classy sounding records with that beautiful tenor that he had, that it's sort of, I won't say it dilutes its impact at all. It sort of disguises it because it's such a beautiful vocal. That lyric, I was born by the river in a little tent, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. And then you get that chorus or refrain. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is going to come. So it's a really hopeful lyric all the way through. But it does reflect the struggle, and apparently inspired by his own events in his life, because of course there was segregated touring for black and white artists in the mid 20th century. Hard to believe now, but that was the norm. And same with audiences. The black and white audiences were separated in the music venues of the 50s and early 60s. So it comes from that, and I mean, it's a beautiful song musically. I think every time people talk about it, they are very tempted to talk about its political power. But it's a lovely melody. Let's see if I can pick it up on guitar in B flat. And you've got this pentatonic melody. So it's all pentatonics. That's 5 notes to the octave, which gives you that sort of sound that makes it sound really timeless. And of course, when he sings it with that wonderful soaring voice that he has, it just carries it onto another level. Yeah,
I never lived to see the effect that it had. And just reading about his death, it's so controversial as well. Shot in a hotel, but a lot of people disputing the situation around that. Just there's a quote from Muhammad Ali, who knew him, saying if it had been Frank Sinatra or the Beatles or Ricky Nelson, the FBI would have investigated his death. So Terrible end, really, to a fantastic, to someone with a fantastic voice who had such an effect. Right. Well, look, we nearly did what you do at your college, Joe. We've nearly spent the whole programme talking about Sam Cooke.
It's so tempting.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you've never heard his singles, just go and find a Sam Cooke playlist. It's just a wonderful way to spend an evening.
Yeah. Right. We will fast forward now to the late 1980s. A song from a massive debut album. This is Tracy Chapman. A lot of people would have figured this might have appeared.
Yeah.
Tracy Chapman talking about a revolution.
Don't you know, we're talking about a revolution. It sounds like a whisper. Don't you know, we're talking about a revolution. It sounds like a whisper. While they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know, talking about a revolution. It sounds whisper. Poor people gonna rise up and get their share. Poor people gonna rise up and take what's theirs. Don't you know you better run, 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 run. Oh, I said you better run, 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 run. 'Cause finally the tables are starting to turn. Talking about the revolution.
There we are, Tracy Chapman talking about a revolution. I saw you playing along there, Joe. You were into that. You were in the zone then.
Very tempting, yeah.
Yeah. What was the inspiration behind that song then?
Well, for me personally, that was the sound of my A levels.
Very good.
We would, after a day of revising, we'd pretend to be revising, and we'd put on that album, and it was huge at the time. The bit I was playing along to there is just a simple 4-chord loop, but it's quite lovely. It's just G. Grabs acoustic guitar here. C add 9. It's a really simple chord shape. Then a regular E minor. And then the D with this little sus4, which is a very singer-songwritery thing to do. And it's a 2-bar loop, goes like that. And it's that all the way through the song. And it's something of a truism with singer-songwriter material that the more you have to say in the lyric, the simpler the accompaniment has to be to carry it. That said, it's a pretty simple lyric. It's not a specific revolution. It's not a specific political struggle. People know that refrain, that chorus, don't you know, they're talking about a revolution. It sounds like a whisper. And that just repeats. And if it's about any political issue at all, it's about escaping from poverty or being controlled by poverty. The verse, when they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unemployment lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. So there's actually very little to it in terms of content. It's more like a sort of a mantra. And that said, people have picked it up, and it has been used as a genuine song of revolution. So I actually looked it up. It received heavy radio play in Tunisia in 2011 during the Tunisian Revolution. And more recently, just after I'd made landfall in the US, it was the theme for Senator Bernie Sanders' 2016 presidential campaign. So it's been around a bit, this song.
Yeah. So fluid, really. You can adapt it to whatever means you want it to. Really, that's the thing about that.
Yeah, it's a bit like a change is going to come in that regard. It's just it's a message of hope. the people are coming together, the people will rise up, good things will come out of it. And it's written quite near to where I am right now. It was written at Tufts University, which is in Boston, and Tracy Chapman studied there and made a little demo tape of that and Fast Car and a couple of others, and gave it to a fellow student, Brian Koppelman, whose dad, Charles Koppelman, ran a publishing company, and that's how she got her deal and eventually signed to Elektra Records in 87.
Wow.
And the rest we know is history.
Yes, well, a great tune. Now, this is a phrase I'll never say again on this hour. Joe, because I don't know if you know where I come from. I don't mention it that often. But next,
this is an artist that started in Burnley.
Yeah, next to a Burnley group, miscategorized by many as one-hit wonders. It's Chumbawamba. And, of course, lots of people know Tub Thumping. Because you get knocked down, you get back up again, you have a whiskey drink and a lager drink, etc.
Etc., yeah.
Etc.
They've had more than one song.
This is, they have, for sure.
Okay.
This is so Joe will tell us the history behind this story then. This is the one, so this is their version from 1988, but originally it's from 1381, okay? This is the Cutty Wren by Chumbawamba.
Oh, where are you going, said Milder to Malder. Oh, we may not tell you, said Faso to Falls. We're off to the woods, said John the Red-Nosed. We're off to the woods, said John the Red-Nosed. And what will you do there, said Milder to Malder. Oh, we may not tell you, said Faso to Falls. We'll shoot the Cutty Wren, said John the Red-Nosed. We'll shoot the Cutty Wren, said John the Red-Nosed. Oh, how will you cut him up, said Milder to Malder. Oh, we may not tell you, said Faso to Falls. With knives and with forks, said John the Red-Nosed. With knives and with forks.
There we go, Chumbawamba. There's a big history of folk singing around my neck of the woods, actually. Yeah, and that song, Joe, I know has a rich history. So, what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so I was almost tempted to say, let's play this one on Not Tell Anyone Who It Is and see if people can guess
Nobody
the
would have got that in a million years.
So, yeah, Chumbawamba being perhaps even truer to their anarcho-communist folky roots there, and actually a lot of their material is really quite folky. Although, as you say, they're very known for that hit Tub Thumping. So the Cutty Wren, Cutty is sort of Middle English-ish for a small or short, and the wren is obviously the bird. So it is essentially, at least on the face of it, it is a lyric about some band of hunters who are going off to find the wren, and they are going to catch it and shoot it, catch it, dismember it, and distribute the parts among the people. And like anything so old, there's a lot of debate about its true origin or its true meaning, but it's widely interpreted to be a song of, should we say, wealth redistribution. So the idea is that the poor are going to take the resources of the rich and distribute them. That's what it's often taken to mean. We heard it a cappella there. Male and female vocals in parallel octaves. So we've got and what I love about the harmony, they use really sort of modal harmony, which my A-level music teacher would never have allowed us to do, which is parallel fourths. So you get that melody, but in the last line there, they go from octaves to this wonderful. So you get the two together, and it sounds. To our modern ears, it's almost rock sounding. It's a bunch of power chords moving around. It is a song of revolution, and but it's sort of disguised as a hunting the bird song. And it's worth for those who do only know tub thumping, it's worth checking out the rest of Chumbawamba's output because it's very, very different.
You're a music, not a history teacher, but did that song have much of an effect socially? Was it sung in pubs and inns and banned at anywhere? I mean, what's the story, Joe?
Well, it is the oral tradition. These songs initially were not written down necessarily, and often the same lyric was sung to different tunes and vice versa. So it appears in the Roud Folk Song Index, ROUDs. This is the mighty Steve Roud, who's the most famous librarian in folk song. He's still around, and he's sort of very venerable. He's collected tens of thousands of folk songs, and really just knows so much about the history and culture of this music. So there's a whole folk song index that you can look these up on. And did they have impact at the time? Impossible to say. We live on an island with a rich and varied political history, but the poor have always had these songs of potential revolution, and this is one of them.
I read that it was connected to the Peasants' Revolt of 1381, and the Wren was supposed to represent King Richard III, who was quite young at the time. They were going to chop him up and feed him to the poor.
Yes, that is one interpretation.
Yeah.
So young King Richard II, as you say, Peasants' Revolt, 1381, absolutely.
There we are.
And Chumbawamba have a whole album of folk songs.
There we go. See, there's more class in Burnley than you would think.
Apparently.
Right.
I'm going to be listening to that later. That's my discovery.
There's always a discovery in this hour. We're going now from Burnley to San Francisco Bay via New York. We're jumping to the noughties, but this song was recorded a little bit before that, quite a bit before that. So this is Panther Power by Tupac.
As it seems, the American dream ain't nothing but another calculated scheme to get us locked up, shot up and back and chained, to deny us of the future, rob our name, kept my history a mystery, but now I see the American dream wasn't meant for me, cause Lady Liberty's a hypocrite, she lied to me, promised me freedom, education, equality, never gave me nothing but slavery, and now look at how dangerous you made me, calling me a madman, cause I'm strong and bold, with this gun full of knowledge of the lies she told, promised me emancipation, and this new nation. All you ever gave my people was salvation. Fathers of this country never cared for me. They kept my ancestors shackled up in slavery. And Uncle Sam never did a damn thing for me. Except lie about the facts in my history. So now I'm sitting here mad cause I'm unemployed. But the government's glad cause they enjoy when my people are down so they can screw us around. Time to tame the government now. Panther Power. Panther Power.
Well, you can hear the strength of feeling for yourself there, can't you? Panther Power, Tupac. What's the story there, Joe?
Yeah, so this was, funnily enough, our second posthumous release of the night. So it was recorded actually before he found fame. It was, by all accounts, an 80s demo that he made. And the interesting thing about the story of hip-hop, or one of the many interesting things about it, is that all the stuff that we have now of like everyone clearing their samples and lawsuits if you don't, none of that really existed at the birth of hip-hop. People were just trying stuff. So there's a bunch of samples which I'll get to in a minute, but let's talk about the revolution aspect of it. So it refers obviously to the Black Panthers, who were active in New York 60s, 70s, 80s. And Tupac's mother, Afeni Shakur, was an active Black Panther. She was one of the Panther 21 who were arrested, and she served as her own defense lawyer. So it's a song really about the Black Panthers and about his mother's story. And thankfully, it was good to have a bit of revolutionary hip hop that we could play on the radio, because although it's quite an angry song, it doesn't actually have swears in it. But that wonderful opening line, as real as it seems, the American dream ain't nothing but a calculated scheme to get us locked up, shut up, and back in chains, to deny us of the future, rob our name, kept my history a mystery, but now I see the American dream wasn't meant for me. So it's pretty dark stuff. And like I say, in his lifetime, nobody heard it. It was released on the soundtrack for the documentary about him, Tupac Resurrection, which came out in 2003. But it's worth a mention of those samples. So as you heard there's no real sort of pitched instruments in there. It's all just the beat and the rap. And so just take a listen to the first bit of the vocal. You hear a groove, you hear Tupac's vocal, and you hear pap, 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 Panther Power sampled over the top of it like this. So what you're hearing there is a 1975 sample of Kool and the Gang's Jungle Jazz, which sounds like this. And that just loops, a 2-bar loop. And the word panther comes from Public Enemy's Rebel Without a Pause from 1987, which sounds like this. And they snip that sample out like this. Trying to tap my little sample pad here. And then they put it together and we get that wonderful groove and intro together.
Right, so he's a chef mixing already existing ingredients then there.
Absolutely, and that was the way in early hip hop, and obviously a lot of that remains in the culture now. But you also, because it's 80s hip hop technically, you're also hearing the scratching of the turntablist in there. So amazing record, and it's great that it finally found the light of day, albeit posthumously.
Which has just led me to read a lot about Tupac that I didn't know. So that it's fascinating. That we now brings us to 2015. And that renowned hotbed for seeding political insurrection, musical theatre. Actually, this did cause a stir at the time. I've not seen this. I've never seen Hamilton. But this is Yorktown, performed by the cast of Hamilton.
The Battle of Yorktown, 1781.
Monsieur Hamilton,
Monsieur Lafayette,
in command where you belong.
are you saying no sweat? We're finally on the field, we've had quite a run.
Immigrants, we get the job done.
So what happens if we win?
I go back to France, I bring freedom to my people if I'm given the chance.
We'll be with you when you do.
Go, lead your man.
I'll see you on the other side.
Till we meet again.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Till the world turns upside down. Till the world turns upside down. I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. This is where it gets me. On my feet, the enemy ahead of me. If this is the end of me, at least I have a friend with me. Weapon in my hand, a command of my men with me. Then I remember my Eliza is expecting me. Not only that, my Eliza is expecting. We gotta go, gotta get the job done. Gotta start a new nation, gotta meet my son. Take the bullets out your gun, the bullets out your gun. We move undercover and we move as one. Through the night we have one shot to live another day. We cannot let a stray gunshot give us away. We will fight up close, seize the moment and stay in it. It's either that or meet the business end of a bayonet. The code word is Rochambeau. Dig me?
Well, there we are, an excerpt from Hamilton, the musical, and that is a song literally about a revolution.
It really is. And in a weird coincidence, I planned that we were going to have this song in the show a couple of weeks ago when we were thinking about revolutionary songs, and it makes lots of connections, which we'll talk about in a minute. But on Sunday, for the first time in my life, I saw Hamilton.
Ah.
A complete
Brilliant.
coincidence. It was touring in Boston, and
Oh, so you didn't even watch it on like Disney? You actually saw
no,
the stage?
actually went to a
Amazing.
theatre, to the Opera House here in Boston, and saw it, and it's like a weird bit of positive karma, and it is an amazing scene in the musical. So Hamilton and Lafayette, who are both working in the Continental Army, as it was called, as you heard there in the vocal, the Battle of Yorktown, 1781, for what is now the American side, led by George Washington, later President George Washington, and it defeated the British Army. And the British surrendered over 7,000 troops on October 19th, and it effectively was the last major land combat of the American Revolutionary War. You know, we think of America having started in 1776, but, you know, the British were still fighting way after that time. And so it moves along the plot, and, you know, like so much of Hamilton, it's authentically musical theatre, it's authentically American history, and it's also authentically hip-hop. And then you have that recurring theme, "I'm not giving away my shot," which appears as a sort of motif throughout the musical. Amazing musical, great track, and a real song of revolution.
Is it a brave subject for a bit of musical theatre? Because, you know, it's not going to be an easy one. It's not Mary Poppins, is it?
It was curious. I mean, Lin-Manuel Miranda researched it hugely, you know, and wanted to find out, has no one done a musical about the life of Alexander Hamilton? You know, it was workshopped on and off Broadway for many years before the show that we now have actually saw the light of day. So, yeah, it was a brave subject, but I think what was so remarkable about it was people got that authenticity. The musical theatre fans loved it, the hip-hop fans loved it, and it is just a wonderful show.
Right, so, you know, a definitive stateside kind of presentation there. Now, if we'd have asked the listeners to say which British singer may appear when we're talking about revolutionary songs, I don't think too many will be surprised that our next and final tune is Billy Bragg with The World Turned Upside Down. It's a cover version of a 1975 song by Leon Rosselson called Digger Song. Let's have a listen.
In 1649, to St George's Hill, a ragged band they called the Diggers came to show the people's will. They defied the landlords, they defied the laws. They were the dispossessed, reclaiming what was theirs. We come in peace, they said, to dig and sow. We come to work the lands in common and to make the waste grounds grow. This earth divided, we will make whole. So it will be a common treasury for all. The sin of property we do disdain. No man has any right to buy and sell the earth for private gain. By theft and murder they took the land. Now everywhere the walls spring up at their command. They make the laws to chain us well. The clergy dazzle us with heaven, or they damn us into hell. We will not worship the God they serve, the God of greed who feeds the rich while poor men starve. We work, we eat together, we need no swords. We will not bow to the masters or pay rent to the lords. We are free men, though we are poor. You diggers all stand
Unmistakably there, Billy Bragg. So his version of a song called the Digger Song. How do these songs knot together, Joe?
Well, they both share a title, or in the case of the Hamilton song, a subtitle. And that phrase, "the world turned upside down," has a very long history in English folk music. So the original "World Turns Upside Down" was a broadside English ballad, first published in the mid-1640s amid the English Civil War. And its immediate subject was the suppression of Christmas celebrations and other traditional fashions, as they were described, by the parliamentarian Puritan legislation of the time. But generally in folk music, this phrase, "you see the world turned upside down," means things become opposite. You know, the people take over the wealthy, or it's an outrage that our traditions have been usurped by those in power. So it has different meanings, but its use in Hamilton, they actually say in the story, do you remember that old drinking song we sang? And it refers to the original World Turned Upside Down. But as you said, Tony, the one that we were listening to there was Billy Bragg's cover version of the Leon Russellson song, which was a different World Turned Upside Down, subtitled The Diggers Song. And it's a commemoration of the Diggers movement that began in England in 1649. Now, the Diggers were proto-Marxists before there was Marx, I guess. Could you call them Marxists back then? They believed that all land should be free for everyone to use. That was their political viewpoint. So that song opens, it actually tells this story of St. George's Hill. In 1649 to St. George's Hill, a ragged band they called the Diggers came to show the people's will. So the Diggers, also known as the True Levelers, they attempted communal cultivation of land and rejected the idea of private property. So the lyric theme is like, it's a sin to own property, is what the lyric was dealing with at the time.
I knew we'd learn tonight. I mean, we learn musically, but I've Googled so much tonight while I've been listening, honestly.
I
know. Great stuff, Joe. Just before we go, people are entering your quiz, by the way, however hard you've made it. People are going for it. Just before we recap on that, Lisa, what have other people been throwing into the mix as songs about revolution as far as they're concerned?
Yeah, I just double checked there because you're right. Billy Bragg has got to be one of the first people you think of there. And only one person suggested a Billy Bragg song, and that was Jace in Banbury. So thanks for that. Some other people who were suggesting some revolution songs. Martin in South Yorkshire said Revolution by the Beatles.
Yeah.
And Steph in Leamington Spa, Brad Ferry as The World Turns. Does that fit revolution?
Yeah, well, I my musical knowledge, I don't know. I don't know. We won't get fooled again, The Who, says Steve in Liverpool.
Yeah. Wheels and Fire, Julie Driscoll, Steve in Liverpool. Did you just say Steve in Liverpool?
Yeah, must be having two goes.
Yeah, I think he has, yeah.
And what's this one here? Boney M and Rasputin. I mean, now we're at the other end, aren't we? So wait till Billy Bragg does a cover of that. Joe, it's been fantastic taking us through that. Thanks very much for that.
Oh, no, it was good fun. Slightly unusual theme. It's all very lyric heavy. We'll be back to instruments and chords before too long, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'll be listening to Chumbawamba on the way home. That's what I've learned tonight. So, yeah.
Let's have another go at the quiz then, Joe. We've had a couple of entries. I think both of them have gone for everything. So,
brave people, brave people.
Get it all,
but this is the one that gets everyone's entries. So just recap on the quiz for us.
Okay, so there are 6 questions. I was going to say song and artist. The first one, you don't really need the artist because it's a traditional song. So I'm going to play them backwards. I will tell you the date and a little bit about the geography. So this is a 19th century folk song published eventually in the 1950s, and it is sung in Italian.
Somebody said if anyone gets that first one, they need their head examined. So that's the challenge.
Or they speak Italian.
Yeah, maybe, possibly.
So for number 2, this is a song from 1968, the artist from North Carolina. For number 3, this artist is from Jamaica, and they released this in 1973. And number 4, this artist is from New York, and they released this in 1990. For number 5, this is, I would call them a crossover rock band, and they released this song in 1996, West Coast of America. And for this number 6, this is an artist literally from straight out of Compton in the US, in California. And I had to play only the intro because everything else was words you can't play on the radio. So this is...
Not even backwards? How rude are they?
Not even backwards.
Oh, wow.
So this is from 2015.
Sure, I heard the word mub in there.
Right. I'm really kind of confident about one of my answers, you know. I think the rest are right off.
People are getting... Honestly, there's loads coming in now, and I think everyone's going for them all, so we'll see. We'll get answers in a second. Before that, Joe, I love this bit of this show. It's time for Soundslike in your professional... Well, you're a music lecturer, you're professional, but you're called to be an expert witness in many... claims where artists are saying their work's been copied. So you're the go-to man. So what have you got for us tonight?
Well, this is a really interesting one, and I want to thank Patrick from Dublin for sending this one in. I kind of knew both songs, but I'd never really made the connection, and I'm sort of kicking myself that I didn't because it's a really good one. So this is 10538 Overture by ELO. Yeah. I've cut out the first 2 bars. You're listening out for the guitar riff, which is slightly buried under the strings at this point, but listen carefully for the guitar riff. This is from 1971, 10538 Overture. So you've got this cross-picking riff. We're in C, and it sounds like this. And the song that Patrick has pointed out that it absolutely does sound like, not least because it's a similar tempo and the same key, is Changingman by Paul Weller from 1995. The intro sounds like this.
Very similar.
It's remarkable, isn't it? But the reason we're hearing the similarity is partly the tempo, as I mentioned, but mainly the key and the technique. And the technique is power chord cross-picking, so C, G, C. And then this descending bass line. Well, that bass line is really quite famous with songwriters. A lot of songwriters love it. It's the same bass line, albeit in a different key, in Dear Prudence by the Beatles, 1968. Sounds like this.
The sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so will you, dear Prudence. Won't you come?
And of course, it sounds very different from the comparison we just did, but that's mainly just because of the key. The chord loop is the same, so it's... We're just in the key of D. And in fact, if I drop Dear Prudence down and slow down its tempo, it sounds like this.
Yeah.
So you can get that Changingman. The sky is blue. It's beautiful. So you can sort of mash them up together.
Can I throw something else in there? Because you see, when you first played that, right? Do you know what all I thought, Joe? Was Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. So I wasn't surprised when you played a Beatles song there. But you know the beginning part to the Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds?
Yeah.
Similar kind of idea, right?
I'm trying to remember the riff. It is cross-picking. It's a similar technique. It's a whole lot more psychedelic than the sort of rock approach there. Brilliant. But it's not a million miles away in terms of the guitar technique used.
Interesting, I like it.
And of course, when you cross-pick root, fifth root, in fact, if we go up to D, those are also the first 3 notes of this.
Ah.
Now, it's not the same chord loop, but it's very similar. So it's really the technique that we're hearing. That was, for those who don't know, that was ABBA's "Gimme, Gimme, Gimme a Man After Midnight." So really nothing to see here, as is so often the case. It's two similar techniques using a well-loved chord sequence, but because we hear them both at a similar tempo in the same key on cross-picked double-tracked electric guitars with a slightly crunch sound, our ears go, "Oh my gosh!" We make the connection, and Patrick has very much made the connection.
You do, but
It's a
nothing
really good
illegal,
sound.
nothing need to involve the lawyers. Just
No, it's just a
musical
record that
technique.
sounds. Yeah, and they're different melodies, different lyrics, and the well-loved chord loop.
Yeah, blimey.
Brilliant.
Okay, great. Another fascinating insight. There we go.
That was a good one.
I would have thought that's bang to rights, but no, I'm not a lawyer, so there you go. But then again, once you say the Beatles did it first, who had it in the first
Well,
place?
right,
Anyway,
yes,
there
that's
you go.
called a prior art search. Yeah, who was first?
Yeah. George Formby steps up. It's me, mother. Right, so we've just got time for the answers, Joe, for the quiz.
I think we have. Okay, so time to tick off how many of the 6 you got. I think this was a lot harder. So if anyone got more than like 2, they're doing really well.
I'm telling you.
So number 1, traditional 19th century song. It was in Italian, and that was a clue. The song, it was called Bella Ciao.
Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 stamattina.
What was that about then? Bella Ciao, do we know?
Well, it is another sort of revolutionary song. It means goodbye beautiful or beautiful goodbye, but it's kind of a revolutionary get stuffed to those in power, as most of these songs are.
Anti-Nazi, anti-fascist Italian folk song, it says here.
Yeah, absolutely co-opted during and certainly after the Second World War.
Yeah.
So number 2, 1968, the artist Nina Simone, the song Revolution.
Now we got a revolution, 'cause I see the face of things to come.
For number 3, I think hopefully a lot of people have got this very famous artist, big hit. The song was Get Up, Stand Up. The artist, of course, Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up.
For number 4, from 1990, those people from Roosevelt, New York, it was Public Enemy and the song Fight the Power.
We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power.
For number 5, the crossover rock band, as I'm calling them, of course, Rage Against the Machine in 1996, the song Bulls on Parade. Love that wah-wah guitar. And finally, number 6, the artist Kendrick Lamar. He's straight out of Compton. And from 2015, the song The Blacker the Berry. This was a bit of the intro.
Neil Chester's done it again.
Yeah.
He's got them all right.
We were working through honorary mentions to everyone who's had a go
Absolutely.
tonight as well.
Ben Eastry, Darby, Tom and
Yeah.
Macclesfield, they've all done really, really well. But Neil has got them all right again.
Got them all.
That's
Joe, you're never going to fool
That's
him.
extraordinary. Neil is
it?
my nemesis with this quiz.
Really
It's just
is.
amazing.
And let's be clear. And he also says, Neil says, up the tooting popular front, power to the people, which was Citizen Smith back in the day. But just to be clear, Joe, you cannot, because you've devised it so you cannot Shazam these, even if you reverse it.
If you reverse them, well, we try and set them up like that way. You know, maybe we need to get a bit more cunning. I think
I'm not
Neil
accusing
just has
Neil
a
of cheating.
really,
Yeah.
I think he just has a really amazing knowledge of popular music.
Sure
That's
he
what I'm
does.
putting
Well,
it down
he gets
to.
it every week. Pretty good stuff. Thank you, Neil.
Next week's
Well
new
done.
week.
Thanks to everyone who entered to that. Joe, thank you for your company tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. And it's like
Well,
anything.
right back at you.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to see what you choose for next
I
week.
know. It's honestly, it's my highlight of the week. I say it every week, but it really is.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Cheers,
Oh no, really enjoyed it. See you next week.
cheers Joe.
See you
Thanks, mate.
then. Bye.
There we go. Professor Joe Bennett there, a.k.a. Dr. Beat. Brilliant. I knew we'd learn a bit about history
Oh, yeah,
tonight. We've learned a
completely.
lot about music. You're gonna
I'm going to have
raid
Chumbawamba's folk album on the car on the
a
way
bit
home.
of folk music
Yeah.
from Chumbawamba. Burnley's finest.
Burnley's finest.
So there are about 7 or 8 of them. So
Yeah.
that automatically put me 7 or 8 places further down the most famous people from
all
Burnley
right.
list.
That's all right.
Jordan North, everyone. Anyway, who cares? Right, that is it. We've got through another one unscathed.
Thank you.
We are back tomorrow. We're here from 10:30. It's TV Times tomorrow night.